I can hear you very clearly. Can you hear me now?
Good. I think we've got a bit of a delay. That
Ended. So, but I have been into astronomy education and I'm doing that for the past 2 years. So right now we want to expand our activity because we we have students, we have researchers in our group that would like to use the Webb telescope, and I have been telling them about the Slooh telescope and how cool it is. So so they want to use the telescope for many things, including carrying out research that would result into a publication. So that is why I'm reaching out to know if we can have such opportunity. And also, maybe in the future, when they see the advantage of Slooh, they might, subscribe to it.
okay. I mean, the Slooh can be quite limiting when it comes to uh, research. Now, although we've had students, we had one just a couple of years ago. She was only 13. She did a whole project on monitoring variable stars, wrote a scientific paper, and
Wow.
you can see it on the website. There's a case study. Her name is Michelle Park,
Yes, I know her. I know
and
her.
she's just got into Stanford. But
Wow.
you have to be aware of the limit. Yeah, so but you have to be aware of the limitations of Slooh's telescopes when it comes to research, because most research projects require quite a granular control of
Okay.
the telescopes, the settings, the exposure levels. A lot of research requires photometry. We do have photometric filters available on one telescope, but those are not available under things. Our main focus is on getting astronomy and live telescopes into the hands of as many students as possible, and that means that we need to not provide that one-to-one telescope rental service. Um,
Okay.
and we also have a lot of learning activities which are called quests,
Okay.
which is what most actually offering.
Okay.
So that's our situation. So you'd need to be aware of the limitations. Having said that, we've got people like Michelle Park who did carry out some great research. We've got other members who are carrying out research. We've got we've got a whole group who monitor and track near Earth asteroids. They're called our A team. They've been in existence since 2008. They make incredibly accurate observations and measurements. They're very proud of that accuracy and their submissions to the Minor Planet Center. Um, and in fact, if people want to do that, they have to go through a training course. And then when they get checked out, they can then get permission from Slooh to make submissions to the Minor Planet Center.
Okay.
So aware of is, although FITS data is available, FITS data is available for advanced students. It can't be shared with anyone who's not a member. So it can't be shared to, any pro-am collaborations, not unless we give permission for that. So there's just a few restrictions that I wanted to make you aware of, but
Okay.
there's a whole bundle of um, other items in your list that you sent us, which are easily doable with Slooh. So you could participate in citizen science projects, but we'd need to be involved if data was going to be flowing. But astrophotography sessions, I mean, obviously that's the core of Slooh,
Okay.
especially with our live imaging. And of course, what you also get there, if you remember, is all members of Slooh can watch and capture images from all of the telescope live feeds. So one person has selected a target, but everybody else can watch that and they can snap images from
Okay.
that session as well. So we call it kind of a celestial jukebox. We've also got a group of members on our Discord server who are focused primarily on astrophotography, and a lot of your students could be quite interested in, because
Yes,
that
exactly.
group, they don't just use all of the really expensive image processing software. They also use and share how to use free software as well to do all of that. So the other thing that you could do is you can certainly organize your live observing sessions for students and astronomy clubs. So you can certainly do all of that. Um, and yeah, you could even host your own webinars and lectures as well. So
Okay.
we'd certainly support that. We already support a number of. So there's kind of lots of opportunities there. But I think, Miracle, in the first instance, it might be good if we get your account back up and running, so that you can actually re-explore the platform, because an awful lot has changed. You definitely need to look at our Quest learning activities, because those would be very appropriate for a number of your students. But just clarify one thing for me, because in your email you were talking about um, high schools, astronomy clubs, and these PhD students.
Yes.
Who are you primarily looking to use this for? Was it the PhD students?
Okay, the majority of those that are going to be using it are just ordinary students in secondary schools and those that are, space enthusiasts. Just a little bit of them who are into masters and PhD that would like to use it for their research. So, but I want to ask before I restore my
Okay.
account, because I read in the previously that there are different accounts. Okay, assuming that you are a teacher, you can have an account for your students, like a teacher and students. You can also have student amateur astronomer account. So, which one do you think would be better for me? Do you think it is better for me to restore my account or to go for another better
So
option?
the no, I think there would be a better option for you. And what I'm happy to do, Miracle, is I'll create a the equivalent of a teacher account for you,
Okay.
with um, maybe a couple of student accounts there as well, so you can maybe get, you know, a couple of other people to be looking at it, to be really testing the platform and see whether it suits your needs. Um,
Okay.
so have that for a month or 6 weeks, and um, then you can make your mind up. So that there are two. Once you've done that as well, um, there are two levels of student accounts that you would need to look at. Certainly, your PhD students would need an advanced student account, but your
Okay.
high school students could probably use a basic account, unless they themselves are going to be doing, more advanced things. Now, the difference in cost between those two accounts is $15 per annum or $30 per annum. That's US. So there's, a bit of difference there. The educator account is $99, but we can help you out maybe when the time comes, depending on what your requirements are. So I think in the meantime, let's set you up with that. We'll set you up with a what's called a high school astronomy account, and that will give you a really good idea to be able to reacquaint yourself with the telescopes,
Okay.
acquaint yourself with the learning activities for certain, because that's really what your secondary school and high school students are going to be looking at. And I don't know, do you guys have a
Experienced any astronomy stuff, so majority have not. They don't study astronomy in their classes. So I'm just introducing it to them.
Okay, so is this like mainly extracurricular activity then?
Yes, it's mainly extracurricular activities. We draw persons
Okay, so that's
from different backgrounds.
okay. So that's quite cool. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to show you a couple of things because if you go to one of the educator pages, so we can go here to high school astronomy, um, and you can see it here. So we'll set you up with all of that. But what you can see here is our curriculum alignment. And although you're not using, an astronomy, really, I think, and it's called Astronomy Textbook. Have you heard of that?
No, no.
Okay, so it's open source, it's free. So just look up OpenStax. You can see it here on this page here, OpenStax Astronomy, and it's basically got chapters about every aspect of astronomy. But what this table is showing is all of our quests. So these are our learning activities down in the left-hand side, and it tells you whether they're appropriate for high school or college or elementary school, stuff like that. So you can sort on those things. But it also has the
Excuse me.
OpenStax astronomy
I can see I can
chapter
see your
that
screen.
relates to that as well.
This is showing Paul is presenting, but I'm just seeing your icon of your icon here. I can't see your screen. Maybe you should check.
You can't see it, did you say?
Yes, I can't see it. It's just showing your icon.
You, okay. I don't know why that's doing that. So I can't really show that. I think there's something wrong with our internet connection today. Um, so uh, so I can't show you what I was going to show you, but I'll point you towards a webinar that you can look at,
Okay.
and it will have that information and also introduce our Quest learning activities as well. So is there anything else that you'd like to ask me before I set this
Yes.
account up for you, Miracle?
Yes. About image processing. I want to understand how Slooh processes its images because from my past experience in the real color, okay, so I was like wondering because for
Yep.
other telescopes after taking your images, it is usually in black and white with different filters. So you can now relax back your computer to process your images to produce beautiful images. But for Slooh, it seems like it's giving you a live view, like you see the colors of the stars. And so I'm asking if the telescope processes the image
Yep.
live as you are seeing it.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a patent for that process. What we're doing is we're doing exactly the same as people like Las Cumbres and other observatories and rental telescopes like that. But what we're doing is we're taking that series of filtered images, luminance, red, green, and blue, and we're processing that in real time and
Okay.
then feeding that into the user interface. But
Uh,
the user and advanced students and teachers get this. They have access to the raw fits data, so they can still process their own images if they want
okay.
using that raw data. But one of the things that's interesting is quite often members can't actually um, produce an image as good as our live image
Okay.
because we've been honing that down a bit at the moment, Miracle. I
Okay.
couldn't hear anything after I stopped speaking.
Okay. I said the advanced level that you would get the fit files. Like I want to know the
Yep.
juice it to them. So we are going to come back to I'm going to come back to Slooh with them.
Great. Well, okay, listen, we'll set you up with this account. If you've got any, you can email me.
Okay.
After you've kind of reacquainted yourself with the platform and our Quest learning activities, then, if you want to jump on another call, then you can do. I'll point you towards some webinars that we did on how to use the platform. And if you invite a couple of students in as well, with the licenses I'll give you, get them to test it out and give you feedback, and they can watch one of these webinars as well, so that they can learn the platform quickly.
Yeah, please send it to me via my email. I would like to see it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So have you got any other questions?
No. If I have questions in the future, I will email you. All right.
That's great. Okay. Well, let me know how you get on when I send you these account details. That might not be done until Monday because it doesn't work on Fridays, but